Hello everyone, welcome to Classic Rewind. This is going to be an update video. Just wanted to show you how everything is coming along. I basically got the front end the way I want it, so I'm going to start doing some body work. But before I do that, I got to move my doors back and make sure I line everything up. So I'm going to make a couple more videos before I start applying some body filler and making sure it is leveling out. I got my motor, I got my wiring harness, my exhaust manifolds. I didn't get the exhaust system yet. What else did I get? My valve covers. I'm going to show you real quick of what everything looks like. My garage is a mess with work. I've been really busy. But I just wanted to give you a follow-up on how everything's coming along and what I did to get it to fit properly. I still have a little bit more to do right here. The hood isn't going down quite as easily as I wanted it to, so I might have to cut some relief in the hood, or I might fill this with some filler because I have to fix the bumper anyway because it's cracked. But I got my body seams fairly decent, a little tighter up here than it is down here by maybe, I want to say, a 1/16 of an inch. I'm going to show you. I'm going to bring you down and show you how everything looks. I'm happy with the fenders and the bumper. I raised the fenders up a little bit so I could line up my bumper a little bit more with the hood. And I'll show you how I did that. And if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. So I'm going to bring you down here and walk you around the vehicle and point out some things that I did to line everything up. So be right back. Okay, I'm going to walk a little bit around the car and show you what I did. Right here, if you look, it's lining up really nice. It's a little high here, but in order to get the hood to line up, I had to lift the fender a little bit, and then this is lining up here very nicely along down the line here. Let me show you. This is lining up. It's a little high right here. Let me go on the angle here. So there you go. That's a better shot of it. As you can see, everything is lining up real nice. Right along here, the valance panel is fitting nicely down along here. This needs some work right along the valance panel. Then I tightened up the inner wheel well, which is giving me a problem because, like I said, this is all aftermarket, and what it was doing is that it was twisting my fender, which was throwing everything off and making it difficult to fit. So what I ended up doing, if you look here, I cut a relief cut with my grinder right here, and let me see if I can get a better shot of it. There you go. And that relieved the bolt when I tightened it to the inner fender, so it gave it a little flexibility. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld that. Once I'm ready and done with my body, I'm going to tack a couple spots in here so it doesn't move, and then I'm going to weld it fast. So I just wanted to give it some relief. Other than that, let me see this fender here against the door. I got to fix that. So that's a whole other issue that I have. And I moved this door back, and it's further back than what I want it to. I got to move it a little closer, and yet I have to line all this up. You know, as you can see, it doesn't line up well, and that is a very big gap. But this is what I'm more concerned about, is the door is sticking past the fender, and what I need to do is I need to cut this and pull this out, or tap this in with my hammer and try to straighten that out. So just wanted to show you that. This gap here, that is lining up. It looks big on the camera, but it's only approximately 3/16 or so right in here. So it's not that big at all. So that's nice and smooth. It lines up with my Fender right here, which that's what I want. If you come down, all the way down here, everything is lining up very nicely. This is high, like I said, but again, I'm going to clean that up with my grinder and put some fill in there and line that up. So that's going to blend. My issue, it is right here. The hood is slightly higher than the bumper, and no matter what I do, I can't get it to line up. I mean, it's smooth on this side, but then it goes up about 1/16 of an inch, so I have to figure out. I have an idea of what to do, but I don't want to cut and weld the hood. I started hitting this with my hammer and dolly, and you can see the dents right here that I put in it. Try to get it to go lower, and it's giving me a hard time. It started to bend the fender, I'm sorry, the hood right here. It creased it. That's because this whole panel was going down when I was hitting it, and it was creasing right here. And that's what you don't want it to do. You want this to stay put, and this needs to go down. So that's giving me a hard time, and I got to get my buddy up here to give me some help. But this is lining up very nicely right here. This side of the fender, let me show you. There's my body hammer. This side of the fender, again, is lining up really nice all along there. And that body line is working, everything's good. And again, if you look right here, that body line lines up with the hood. That's what I'm looking for. Come across. This door, again, I have to move back. And let me show you right here. I was having a problem with the rocker. And if you look right here, I actually cut with my grinder to relieve the pressure because it was pushing up against the rocker panel right here. So I had to cut that and then push it over, and that's what's left with the metal there. Let me see if I get a better shot. So that gap is going to get filled in. I got to weld it fast, clean that up. There's a little bump right here, as you can see in the camera, so I'm going to fix that. So this needs some more work. This door lines up, which I'm happy about. I got to be a little bit higher, just the breadth, but I'm okay with that because this looks like it's high than this body line over here, as you can see the shadow. So I'm okay with that. I got to move the door back because that gap is just way too tight. Just a little bit to my, I mean, that's how I want it to be when I'm done with the paint. But for now, it's just way too tight. I got to push the door, everything back against the rocker here. So this gap is just a little too big, and I got to line that up. This got to come up a little bit more just to get it just right. But other than that, I'm good. So give me a minute. Okay, here's the inside of the hood. And if you look right here, I put a shim on both sides of the bolts. And what that does is it lifts this up, and it actually twists this fender so this lines up better right here. So that's why that right here, this corner is actually really nice. So I'm happy with that. But on this side, if you look, this side gave me a problem. This side, the fender is actually a little higher. You see that? So in order to fix this, I might have to take one of these shims out of here and put a smaller shim just to bring it down a little bit, and in return, this would roll the fender down and make this line up a little better. So there's little things that you can do to make it work. If you could see there, my bolts on the firewall, that's good. It's all in there. That's nice and snug. And someone was asking me, I can't remember who was asking me about how the bolts get assembled on the inner fender, because he has a Chevelle. But this is how they look like on the GTO. You have the cage nut clipped onto the fender, and then you have the bolt coming up through. Let me see if I could go over to the Chevelle. Hold on. Okay, here you are on the 68 Chevelle. I wanted to show you on the inner fenders, the bolt goes from the underside, and it's not a cage nut, it's actually a nut that's welded fast to the fender itself, and that's how you bolt it up. So the adjustment is on the inner fender, not the fender itself. So in case you're wondering, I don't think I showed you guys this motor. It's a 454 bored 30 over in this 68 Chevelle. Just wanted to show you that. And there it is. It's supposed to be a 396, but I don't have that motor. So I'm running a 454 bored 30 over, and there you have it. Let's go back to the goat. Alright, here we are, back to the goat. I got to move this door forward like I mentioned in my other videos, do a little more adjustment, but I'm happy with that. And then I got to weld and fix these gaps because I do not like the way they are. Other than that, I'm happy with it. This side, this door needs to go in a little bit. That'll help with this. So I mean, I still got to do some work, but I didn't want to bore you guys trying to get some final detail. But there you have it. I mean, I'm really happy with the alignment so far. But again, this is a updated video, so I just wanted to show you that. Okay, I don't have the wheels on it, but I will put the wheels on. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm going to have some more videos coming up. Once I get the front end alignment taken care of with the bumper here, then I'm going to start working on the gaps and make videos of those. So, all right. I wanted to show you what I did for the adjustment on the hood to get it to where I am accepting it. So for now, this hood right here is a little high on the fender, but that I could manage. I could fix that because it's just pushing this, lifting this up, pushing this down. I finally got the hood to line up where I want it. And that being said, I'm going to bring you down here and show you the final adjustments that I did. But I oblonged the hinges, I oblonged the fender so I could push it back a little bit more, and I'll show you exactly where I did that. It's just taking my rasp bit, and I'll show you the rasp bit in a second. And I got the hood and the front end to line up pretty much where I want it. So now the only thing to do is get the doors lined up properly, and that's going to be a separate video. Like I mentioned, this video I'm just showing you what I did to get the hood to line up properly. So I'll be right back. All right, here I got a straight edge, which is a regular paint stick. Okay, so if you look there, let me show you. Everything pretty much lines up. The gaps are nice, equal all the way across. And if you go, it's a little high right here. It's a little high, but when I say a little, it's like only a 1/16 of an inch. So that I'm going to live with on this side. This lines up well. I got a dent right here. You could see it in the light. You could see how it's a little obscured, that light line. That means there's a dent there. And if you look on this side, the light line is pretty straight. That's how you could tell there's a dent. This is still a breath high, but again, I could live with that because I got to repair this bumper. And when I say a breath high, it's only like a 16th, and then the rest right here is actually pretty good. It's a little low. Let me see if I could catch that light. See right there. If you look right on this corner, the dark shade right there. I don't know if you could see it in the straight edge. It actually dips down a little bit too much, but that's fine because, like I said, you would rather have it a little low than too high because then you got to build up the bumper. But anyway, this is high right here. This got to come down a little bit, and then it straightens out. Right here, it straightens out, and then this gets high. If you could see that in the camera, see it's a little high. Put the straight edge right there. You see that? That's a little high. So by fixing that, it should fix the other issues in the hood. But I'm happy with where I am. This was my main concern. It gave me a hard time. Let me pop the hood. Okay, the hood's popped. Here we are. I wanted to show you right here. I took my grinder and I put a little relief cut here and a little relief cut here, because what I wanted to do, see that? What I wanted to do was get the hood to go down in the center but up on the ends, and that actually helped it. I don't want to play too much with the hood because that is very delicate, but I just showed you what I did there to get it down. I ended up lifting the hinges up here and pushing these back, and that gave me this nice line right here. And I put shims in there. I lifted the radiator core support. So there we are with that. And then what I ended up doing here is I made this bolt. See this bolt right here? I made that bolt actually oblong. That hole where that bolt goes, let me show you on this side. Right there. And this one here, I just made the housing a little wider so I could bolt it in easier and have a little more adjustability. But that's what I did there. And then the hood hinges, let me show you here. The hood hinges right there, you see how I made them a little oblong? So I just enough to push the hood to the left because that's where I needed it to go. There, and then there's the other one right there. Sorry about the lighting. There you have it. Let me get some more light. All right, I got more light. Right here, I made this hole a little wider so I have more adjustability because the hood needed to go to the left towards the passenger side a little more. Okay, and then I did that to this bolt here. See that? Just bring the light up. Right there. So that bolt there, I moved it over. Just made it like 1/8 of an inch wider so I have more adjustability. And again, I did that to the other side. And that's where I got the hood to lay properly. But other than that, like I said, that's just going to be what I did. And then a subscriber asked me how to get a little more adjustability from the hinges. And right here, as you can see on my hood, it sticks up a lot. And what I did is if you push it down, it lines up perfectly. And by doing so, that right there lines the hood up better in the front as well. So now you have a nice, it's hard to see because it's black, but you have a nice spacing between the bumper, the fender, and the hood. So let me show you real quick. Right here, this is where it dented. I think I mentioned that last time. And this stirring stick does not even fit in there. It's a little too tight. But as we go up, you can see it still doesn't fit in. So this whole hood has to go to the left towards the passenger side. So, and I know I have to move it over just a little bit more. And on this side, let me show you, right there, it's actually loose, okay? Which is fine, but once I move it over just that little bit, that'll straighten the other side out. Right here, again, it fits really nice. It's equal spacing all the way up, which I'm very happy with, as you can see right there. Okay, but like I said, this whole hood has to move over to the left. And the bumper, the fenders are lined up, everything's set up nicely. And what I'm going to do, once I move that hood over, just that little bit, that's pretty much all I'm going to do with it. And the rest, I'm going to work with dolly and hammer, get it nice and flat, and get it to where I want to work with it so I can start laying down some body filler. And I'm working on the door. I got this, the gap here pretty much to align a lot better right here. This was a problem before, but I'm going to make this a separate video. So as you can see here, this fender here, show you up with this stick. This fender here, it's actually, where are you? There you are. Actually, it is really nice here. Lines up, no spaces, and I come all the way up, and that's really, really, really nice. And everything lines up. But when you come down here, let me switch hands. When you come down here, there's my straight edge, and look at that big gap right there. That's not acceptable. So that gap has to close. This has to come out, the fender. So I have to work this a little better. But after about, let's see, right here, it's actually really good. And then it starts opening up. So this, I have to move this out. And as you can see, it lines up pretty well with the rocker right there. But this whole piece of the fender needs to come out. And then I think I mentioned I got to move this door towards the fender to close this gap, because this is way too big, as you can see. But then it gets better up here. So, but it's still too big. All right, just wanted to show you that. So, all right. Oh, and I just wanted to mention, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them. I get back to pretty much every single person that writes me a comment, either a thank you or if you have a question. Oh, I want to show you my motor that I got. I forgot to show you that. I was just focused on the hood and the way this front end aligned. So that being said, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And I'm going to show you the motor, and I'm going to conclude the video. Please like, share, and again, slam that like button if you haven't. I'm going to show you in detail on how I'm going to fix the passenger side door first, because there's a lot more work on that side than there is on the driver's side. And let me show you the motor. Okay, here's the motor. I have it all covered up. Just want to show you this. All right, this is the new power plant that I'm putting in. Try to keep the dust off of it. There you go. There it is. There's the LS3, 546 horsepower. Just wanted to show you the motor. The radiator's over there. It came damaged, so I got to send it back. Hopefully I don't have a problem with that. But here you go. This is the motor. Let me show you the back side. There's the back side of the motor. All right. I'm going to put valve covers on here. I just ordered my Hydro Boost kit that should be coming. So it could clear the valve covers there. All right. And anyway, again, please slam that like button. Please like, share, and subscribe.